Hello. Today I'm out up near the new Sainsbury's in Alsager. Lovely day, it is too, sunny and bright. But there have been a lot of complaints from residents, particularly on Richard Woodcock Way, which is the main thoroughfare up to the store off Lawton Road, of this becoming a rat run. And I've been here for about 45 minutes, and certainly I would say there are quite a lot of cars that are using it as a cut through to the new Sainsbury store. And who can blame them? It's quicker, it cuts out that awful traffic lights down at the Lawton corner. So, you know, I've come through here as well. But one of the problems is, of course, that cars don't always pay attention to the speed limit. And even though the residents here have tried their best to influence drivers to drive carefully with signs and neighbourhood watch signs and so on, it's not really making much of a difference. And in fact, recently the residents here started to complain much more vociferously about this issue. And I'll show you in a minute exactly what the problem is. There's a kind of chicane in the road, and while this is designed to slow down traffic, it's not really doing a very good job. And in fact, what's happening is that traffic is taking this corner as if they're at a racetrack. Le Mans Mark II is here in Alsager. Now, this is a really lovely housing estate. It's quite new, built by Wayne Homes just a few years ago. And although the residents knew then that there was going to be a new Sainsbury's superstore, because that would have been on the plans, they would have been able to spot that and see that, little did they realise that this would become a rat run. And even a year ago, another local councillor raised this as an issue. What is Sainsbury's and Wayne Homes going to do about stopping this from becoming a rat run? And unfortunately, the inevitable has happened, and it has become a rat run for these residents. Now, many of these residents have got children. There's a little girl just over there playing. And in the middle of the estate, we've got this area of greenery just behind me here, which again is a really nice place to play, maybe sit and have a picnic on a nice day like today, and yet there's nobody here. And partly perhaps because it's after school time, they're having their tea, but parents are going to be very worried about letting their children play out. Now, as a Reform UK candidate, one of my values is family. I very much believe that we, as a nation, as a local community, should support families, and road safety is part of that. In fact, whenever I see speeding, it makes me very annoyed because members of my family have been very badly affected by speeding. A very close member of my family had a very bad road traffic accident due to the fact that somebody was not being careful on the roads. It's a risk, it's a danger, and yet there's too many people who get behind the wheel, their steering wheel, and decide they want to put their foot down and accelerate as fast as they can and make it up to Sainsbury's to get their weekly shop. So if you vote for me, one of my priorities is to make Alsager's roads safer. And this is one of the key parts of my campaign, is to ensure that this particular estate gets support, gets local vociferous support to do what it takes to make this a safe route. We don't want to stop drivers from coming up to the local Sainsbury's. Nice big brand new Sainsbury's is a real asset for the town. But what we do want to do is make sure that people who live here are not so badly affected that their lives are being put at risk, their children's safety is being there's danger here on the road because of the inconsiderate nature of those drivers. So I want to make sure that this local community gets the representation and the support it deserves to put that into practice. Wayne Homes has paid a CIL. This is a community infrastructure levy, which all developments have to pay over a certain level of numbers of housing. And that money has gone to Cheshire East. And no doubt the Sainsbury's has also had to pay a CIL. Again, because any new development now has to pay this community infrastructure levy. There will be money in the pot at Cheshire East. There's money in the pot at Alsager Town Council. And it's time that that money was spent to make the lives better of the people who live here, who pay their council tax. So council tax is being gathered on top of the sill. Let's remember that every single house in this development, many of which will be Band D or above, will be paying council tax. Isn't it time that these residents had the support that they deserved to make their area safe and free from risk to themselves and their children? That is what I will be fighting for. If you vote for me on the 5th of June, that's top of my agenda.